Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene Closemore, and you're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Hi! Welcome on into this morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are around the world, onto this couple of networks, or multiple platforms. Isn't it fun? So I'm coming to you live from Melbourne, Australia, or Melbourne, depending on your particular accent. That was a really pathetic accent, I know. But anyhow, so there's kind of a lot going on in the world at the moment, isn't there? How could there not be? There's a lot of changes astrologically going on this year that are quite huge. The last time we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's happened twice this year was actually September 11. So there's a lot of fear back then, and of course a lot of death, which was very tragic, and a lot of stuff going on about who did what to whom. And where did it really come from, and all these things that naturally pop up in our modern age of things popping up and people asking lots of questions. And international travel was certainly disrupted, wasn't it? And the sense of security around things. And so we've certainly been looking at our sense of security this year and what we actually hold dear and see as valuable. Now, today, once I go off air from A1R, I'll be going onto my Facebook Live page and taking you through some physical meditation techniques that you can use to get back in your body if you're sort of like really not coping. There's such a thing called vicarious trauma, and usually that happens to nurses, mental health practitioners, emergency services personnel during crises, or sometimes in practice. And what that means is it's kind of like a transference of what's happening for the client, affecting the practitioner. However, practitioners learn techniques of how to deal with that, how to disperse that energy. Now, with COVID and the constant news coverage of that and the many varying conspiracy theories, going on, people are constantly immersed in this trauma energy. And so there's a lot of, I think, vicarious trauma going on in the population, which is leaving some people open to not being able to take in information like they normally would, not being able to perhaps process events in a clear manner, clear thinking, and being open to conspiracy theories more than what they ever would have been before, and not maybe being able to dissect the arguments being put forward very cleverly, of course. People are not silly for thinking of conspiracy theories. Sometimes the reality is so uncomfortable that we look outside of the reality into something else to make it a bit more comfortable. So, then getting back into the reality of things is very helpful, and that's why I'm going to be doing some meditation and stretching and, getting in touch with your body type techniques after being on A1R this morning and going onto the Facebook page. Now, I've got some people saying hello here. So hello to Nikki, Tabitha, and this is on the Facebook live stream of A1R. So, hello to you. And yes, good morning, Nikki. Thank you for writing in. Now, also, I do have an overdue reading for Amy. Woo! She's written in a couple of weeks ago asking for a reading about fertility and about, how that was going for her. So I'm going to actually answer this here. Now, if you're wanting a reading with me, you can write in onto my Jacquelene Closemore Live Facebook page. You can inbox message me there. You can also comment on some of the posts I put up there as well, and then private message me there too. But thank you, Amy, so much for writing in and asking me to do a reading. So, Amy, with you, first of all, I'd like to just go into your energy a bit there, and I find you to be very open, spontaneous, generous with people. You tend to like to try to mediate, negotiate, tolerate. You've had to learn the hard way when not to do that, hey. You also tend to stand up for other people's well-being quite a bit, in a social justice kind of context where if they're not being treated right, you'll sort of come in and do what you can and stand up for them, advocate really. And I think also you weigh up decisions forwards, backwards for quite some time before making up your mind. And then once you go there, you tend to be quite steadfast, but then 2 months or 2 years later, you can be sitting there going, is that the right decision? Could I have done it better? And you'll work through exactly the same 56 possible starting points of what you could do, whittle them down to maybe 10, maybe 5, maybe 3, then 1. And then you got back down to that one that you think, well, what could I have done better? And then you realize, well, that's what I did do. And then you'll go, oh, and that was the 4 that I shortlisted, and that was a 10 before that I actually shortlisted last time, and that was the 58 that I started with. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So probably best for you to bullet point list what you're actually doing. um, you know, what the problem is, you know, what it's causing you, how to deal with it, the 58 possible scenarios, why you're getting rid of these off the list, why you've now got them down to 3, why you've now chosen that one and going there. And then you could read that for 2.5 minutes and be resolved. Yep. Instead of 5 weeks of self-torture of going through the same process, really, that could have just been on a sheet of paper with bullet points. So, you know, I feel there's this tremendous courage in you as well. Certainly you can get quite frustrated with people, can't we all? But you really can get frustrated with people. And I feel also that you're really with your right partner. It's been a long time coming to get to that right partner, but you're there. And you were sort of asking about children and all these sorts of things. I would say that 2021, 2022 is really good for that for you. I would certainly also suggest for anyone having sort of any difficulties with having children, Chinese medicine and acupuncture is just wonderful for many things. And certainly there's practices within Chinese traditional medicine and acupuncture that go into fertility. So that can actually be quite helpful. Certainly with IVF clinics, they do recommend acupuncture. They don't recommend the herbal medicine while you're having the acupuncture. You can't really have them at the same time, but you can do 6 months of herbs and acupuncture, then go the IVF and stick with the acupuncture. That can be quite spectacular as to what that does, certainly based on what IVF clinics come back with. But certainly I have friends, and as we know, we've got our resident doctor, Dr. Anthony Holding, in Whittlesea Chinese Medicine Clinic, and he works with fertility. And I'll certainly get him on soon, and we'll have a chat about acupuncture in Chinese medicine and, that sort of thing. So we'll sort of go through that, I think, in the next, we'll see if we can get him in, next few weeks. We'll see how that goes under Victorian in stage 4 lockdown. Yay, way to go. The interesting thing here is that I'm seeing this year for you is all about new beginnings. So, it's a time of rebirth for you anyway, on a creative level, on a interesting maturity of other people around you level, whatever that means. And also I feel here 2021 is a really amazing year for you in a lot of personal discoveries, a lot of rebirthing going on there, and a lot of new things. And I would also say there that finding your new energy in your life purpose. And I was also getting that you and your partner may end up working together in some way, whether that's business or something like that. It's like a joint venture, and it does seem to involve money, and it seems to do quite well. And with your partner, I really feel he understands you. I think that you can get inside each other's heads pretty well, and you can communicate, and it does feel like you're able to, at times, it's like being able to communicate without words or being able to end each other's sentences. Usually twins do that. And then there's other times where you may feel irritated towards each other, but that's kind of normal stuff. So I just, I feel like there's good things for you. It's really important for you to be calm and relaxing in this point of time. It helps with, the desire to, look at fertility, and that the more relaxed we are, it helps everything, doesn't it? But whether there's actually scientific evidence of it helping with fertility may be something else. However, certainly I just feel like you do need to keep doing that. And I may have talked to you online on the page about needing to relax. So I think I've sort of covered that base already. But certainly there's cause for celebration in the next 18 months. And I feel there also, it's like some new money coming your way. It seems like maybe in the thousands as a lump sum. Don't quite understand what that's about, but it just feels like that's what's coming here as well. And there may be changes to your partner's job, but they actually feel quite positive. So I'm feeling kind of doing the happy dance on that one. So I just wanted to give you that message. Also, your partner tends to be really good at dealing with the practical, particularly for other people. He can get very frustrated for himself about dealing with things, boots and all, in his own case. But he tends to give really practical guidance, solutions, and thinking and framework to things when he's doing that. And so he'd be a really good coach and certainly I can see him later on in life, dealing with younger people in that kind of sense of mentoring, coaching, guiding. So that actually may involve a sports team of younger people, or a group of younger people. It just feels like younger people, youths particularly, and he'll be involved in that. There's also some kind of new, change to his job that's actually going to be quite cool too. But I feel like you've got a really good connection there, so I want to congratulate you on that. And wish you the very best with it. And what I'll do is I'll certainly invite you, if you want to give feedback, you'll be able to go on the Facebook Live page of mine, Jacquelene Closemore Live. So thank you so much for writing in, Amy. And anyone who's wanting to join me in the next few minutes, I'll be going on the Facebook Live page, the Jacquelene Closemore Live Facebook page, and I'll be running a meditation stretching session, probably out in the concrete yard. And so you can catch me out there online. You can do this anywhere in the world. And the great thing is that it'll save online, so you'll be able to revisit that and do the exercises with me. And probably laugh at my attire or something, whatever makes you happy, really. So, yeah, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. You can once again join me in a few minutes. And in any case, if you're staying on with A1R, Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, hope you have a beautiful afternoon, evening and morning on the channel. There's more shows coming up shortly. And thank you very much for watching and listening. Catch you next week.